morning, everybody. Time to go fishing. I'm going steelhead fishing today, and I'm pretty darn excited about it. So this is part 2 of the steelhead challenge. Got all the gear that I bought. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link right up above to part 1 where we got all the gear for less than $100. Guys, don't forget, anybody can do this. You can go out and just have a blast doing this. Don't forget that. Don't be intimidated. Get the gear you need. You don't need to spend $1,000, and just come with me today. I'm going to go to Rainbow Bend right on the big Manistee River, and then I'm going to go over to, oh my gosh, Spirit of the Woods, which is on Bear Creek over by Brethren. And we're just going to fish some steelhead. We're going to use bead rigs. We're going to use some jigs with wax worms, and maybe we'll tie in one. I don't know. I don't care. It's just going to be a fun day. Come on along. Don't forget, like and subscribe if you see something you like, and let's just go have some fun. Rainbow Bend. It's a nice spot. Don't know if it's a good spot for catching fish, but we'll check it out. A few boats here. A couple other guys just came in empty-handed, just walking the banks. So, I don't know. You know, is that hopeful? Is it? I mean, you can go fish and you can have all the best gear, but a lot of times it's not up to you, is it? Anyway, this is the nice thing about this spot is you can walk these edges, and you got places on the bank to fish. I mean, it truly helps if you got waders. I do not. I am running bare bones. It's a nice little run right here. I mean, it's deep right here. So I'm looking for double bead rig. Pretty warm out. I'm sitting right around 30 degrees. I'm just here in jeans and a jacket, a sweatshirt. Pretty nice. That was a bite. Pretty sure that was a bite. Oh, well, nothing on that last spot, so we're gonna walk downriver here. This is still right at Rainbow Bend. You can turn around, look back. There's the parking lot right back there. Again, you can see it'd be nice to have a set of waders, but it's not impossible. And that's the whole thing with this. You know, you can do this. It doesn't take much gear It doesn't take, you know, $1,000 to go out there and do something like this. If you want to spend all that, have at it. But if you just want to get your basic setup, $100 to $200 to really get everything you need, come out to one of these easily accessible places, man. You can have a blast. Somebody had a campfire out here. I take that as a sign. We're going to fish right in this area. Some good wood in the water right there. Man, I'd like to get on the other side of that if I could. Okay, so let me take a second here to show you how I got this all set up. So you can see the end of the rod right there, line coming down off it. So this was the main line that was on the reel. Try to remember this, because this does help. Try to make this line heavier, thicker, tougher, whatever, than your leader line that's going on the end down there. Because when you do break something off, you'd rather that leader line break than your main line, because at least that way you keep your float and maybe some of your gear. You just got to tie on new beads or new jig or whatever. So anyway, on your main line, you're going to put 2 pieces of that shrink tube or that tubing on there. And I'd like the bottom one to be a little longer than the top one. Doesn't have to be, and there's no real set way to do that. Whatever, you know, 1/2 inch on the bottom, 1/4 inch on top. That's fine. Once you have that on there, you can take your float. Top part goes on that, you know, threads onto that top piece of tubing. Put the bottom one on the bottom piece. Now you got a fixed float. I mean, it's movable. It's easy to move. But one thing you want to remember though, make sure that line is wet before you slide that thing up and down. You're going to burn your line otherwise. Then your main line is going to come down to, I already got my split shot on here, so disregard that for now, but it's going to come down to that two-way swivel. That's where you're going to tie your leader on. So tie leader on. That's going to go down here to your double bead rig or your jig or whatever you want. This is where I took that peg. You saw the pegs that I bought. They are just a plastic rubber piece, just like that right there, and they slide up inside. I'll never get that thing back in there because I reused that peg, so that one is really thick. I don't know if I'll get that back in there. Slide that peg in there, cut it off on both ends, make sure it's in there nice and snug, and your bead's not going to move around. And the same way down here with your second bead, or if you're running single bead, you know, you just got the one. You got it. You figured it out. The distance between your hook and your bead is pretty critical. And what I like to do, and what I've seen most guys do, is about 3 fingers width. Don't want the bead sitting right on top of the hook. You're not going to get as many hookups. Talk about the split shot or the shot line for a sec. I start my first shot 8 to 10 inches. 8 to 10 inches above my, you know, my top bead is my first shot, and that is a BB shot. And I like using round shot. They don't seem to twist up your line so much. So one BB shot on there, another one, another 6 to 8 inches above that. Up to that, you know, then I'm gonna have my barrel swivel. Just above that, I got another BB shot, another 6 to 8 inches above that. Now I start getting a little heavier in the shot size. I think that's a 3/0. Another 6 to 8 inches above that, I got a size 7, and then you guessed it, and then just going up the line. And these should be maybe spread out a little more, but you can move these around as much as you want. So size 7, another size 7, and then a size 5. You know, that's not set in stone. You have to have that many shot. You can move them around. You can use different sizes. You can spread them out, get them closer. Just keep adjusting it. And once you read the water, you know, you can adjust, make the changes, make it work for you. So that is a double bead rig. It's pretty simple. You can do this. Trust me. Anybody can go out there and do this. All right, let's set up a jig now. Even easier than a double bead rig. Same thing with the float. Float's on the main line. 2 pieces of tubing. Got that attached so you can move it. Run your main line down to a piece of fluorocarbon. So I have 15-pound main line, and I have an 8-pound piece of leader. Again, that's fluorocarbon. That's Cigar Red Label. Had some at home, so I grabbed that. Double uni knot or the barrel swivel, again, whichever way. I'm running double uni knot. 3-foot section of fluorocarbon down to my jig, my Lukey jig right there. We're gonna put some wax worms on there. I'll show you actually how I do that. There's a couple different ways. One is the way I did it growing up ice fishing, where you just thread that wax worm just below the head, and you gotta thread that thing right onto the hook like that. Or you can just go right through the middle, put 2 or 3 of them on there. So I'm actually gonna run that one up and grab another one just right through the middle, and then one more. We're gonna make it a nice big appetizing lure. Let's go see if we can catch some steelhead. All right, Spirit of the Woods, let's march my happy butt on down these trails. This is a nice place. This is Bear Creek, actually. This isn't the Manistee River anymore. This is Bear Creek, which feeds into the river. But even if you're not fishing, come down here and walk these trails. They got a nice section of trails, nice walkway that you can see right in front of me that goes along the creek. Just gives you a really nice place to hang out. Come down here in the summer, come down here in the winter. Pick up trash while you're down here. Tell an old bridge used to be there. Anyway, let's get to fishing. All right, everybody, I'm calling her a day, heading home. That was fun. I enjoyed it. It's been a long time since I just walked the banks. It's good to get back to your kind of basics every now and then. I really did it. I enjoyed that. Anyway, no fish today. Had one bobber go down. Didn't stay hooked up. Happens. Had a great time though. I hope you did too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to be back at this again about a week from now. We're going to take a boat out next time. Same gear, same rig. And in the description, I'll put a link to all the gear that I was using today also. You can grab it up if you want to, but that was good. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.